What's up, Insight owners or potential owners? I'm going to talk here today about the armrest modification for the Generation 1 Insight. So I mentioned this on a video, I guess a couple videos ago, when I took a 6th generation Honda Civic armrest. And by the way, that is what a 6th generation Civic looks like. It's 96 through 00. And I modified it, as many others have done, to fit into my Insight. So this is the stock Insight armrest, and I'm going to talk to you briefly about how to fit this one in there. It's really not an armrest, actually. It's just more of a center console coin holder, and I'll show you how this works. And it's the sort of thing where you don't realize that you need an armrest until you don't have an armrest. So this little thing just fits here. That's it. So you can put some coins in there, or like, I don't know, a small firearm, deck of cards, whatever. But you have this armrest and you got nothing there. And again, if you've had one all your life and suddenly it's not there, and you notice most Insight owners talk about how this is one of the deficiencies of the car. So to remove this, it's just 2 screws, one here, one here, and they are those 2 tabs. So they screw in here and here, and so you just have to pull the seats up to do that. You pull this out, and back in the day when this car was newer, I think it was Armrest King, made, I guess, like $100 or something. Total scam, and from what I read, those didn't hinge very well. I mean, they didn't hold up very well. They kind of broke if you put any weight on them. Anyway, the 6th generation Civic armrest is a perfect fit. Well, near perfect. Needs a little modification. So I'll show you what I'm going to do here, or what I did in my case. So these are 2, and this is the one I've had in my car. I just found this the other day at the junkyard. I was actually looking for some other stuff and came across it. I will say probably the first thing you need to know is if you are going to hunt for one of these armrests to go in your Generation 1 Insight. They're very hard to find in good shape, and I don't know if you can tell from the video, but these are in pretty good shape. They're not perfect, obviously, but they're in pretty good shape. And you'll get differing colors. There is a gray, by the way, an actual gray that is more of a perfect match for the inside of the Insight, but they're really hard to find in good shape. But this dark blue actually is a nice contrast, and it looks really good. It looks stock. So the Generation 1 Insight has 2-tone seats anyway. So this really matches those 2-tone seats, you know, if you get this darker blue-gray color. So it looks fine. So I think either the gray, it'd be this product, but in this color, would look great. But I really am really happy with this darker gray, slate blue color. But the armrests you'll find will be varying colors depending on the trim of the Civic. But yeah, I've looked at, like yesterday I was at a junkyard and I found this second one, and there were 19 Generation 6 Civics there, and 18 of them, the armrest was just in horrible condition. So I got lucky. I found this one. I still need to clean it up a little bit, but it'll look almost new once I'm finished with it. So yeah, so you're gonna have to hunt. Again, there were 19, and 18 of them were just horrible. This is the only one that was in decent shape, so I grabbed it. These are like $11. This one was $11. If the junkyard counts it as an armrest, it's $11. If they count it as a center console, it was $18 for me. So this one was $11 yesterday. I bought that about 2 months ago. It was $18. All depends on what they count it for, but still cheap. Anyhow, let's get to the actual reason you're watching this. What do you do? So all you have to do 2 things to make it fit. The first thing you have to do is you have to notch, I'll get in the light a little better here. You have to notch the back of this so that it will fit down over the part in the car. So you can see there where I cut, and just freeze that there. So just get you a, you know, whatever tool you have, and I just notched this out. That just shows you the difference. That's unmodified, that's modified. All right, and then the part that's a little more tricky is this piece right here. So you've got to cut this to fit. if you want it to fit nicely. You could just break these, there's a tab here it broke, but you could just break these tabs off. But if you actually want it to look nice, you actually need to do some trimming. So I'll just kind of show you what I did. In my case, you gotta trim off these nubs here. All right, you can see I cut those off. And then you just need to trim some of this. And what I did is, after trial and error, I trimmed mine and then just got it cut just perfect. And then I have a piece of this trim plastic that I used to hide the cut. So that's what you might want to do if you're like me and you want it to look as stock as possible. So you just trim with a knife or a Dremel and then get a piece of trim here. And what I'm going to do, I'll put my email in the description, and if you are watching this and you're crazy like me and are spending time doing things like this to your Generation 1 Insight, you can email me and I'll just email you a template of this, and you can just cut it out yourself and just lay it right over and cut it, and you'll know exactly where to cut. So anyhow, let's close this out and show you how this fits. And this is the same one from my other video, so nothing new here, but so I'm going to do this one-handed. Hopefully it will catch. How does this go in here? So you just lay it there. And then this guy just slides right down. And then you've got to get it between the two seat adjusters. So I'm going to put my phone down for a minute while I squeeze it in there. Get in there. All right, we did it. And so it just slides down right there, and it's nice and snug, and then this piece just slides right in there. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. I can just squeeze this over a little bit here. So if you get a trim piece and cut it good, it really, you kind of can't notice that it's not stock, and that just hides the slight imperfection of this contour. And then you've got yourself a center console. And the other thing I haven't done yet is, at some point soon, I'm going to actually put a screw through this into this on this side as well. And that way, because when you lift this up to get your stuff out, it could, like, it still moves just a little bit. So it's tight back here, like this is totally solid, but back here up on the front it'll move. So I'm going to put a couple trim screws in here, just kind of hide them. But anyhow, that is the Civic armrest Generation 1 Insight modification. And like I said, I'll put my email down in the description, and if you want to email me, if you want to get a template, I'll just send this to you like in a Word document, and it'll just have basically a tracing of this that you can just print and trace your own and make your own. All right, cool. That's the Gen 1 Civic armrest mod. I'm sorry, Gen 1 Insight armrest mod from a Gen 6 Civic. Hope that helps. Later.